Welcome. My name is Bob Coleman. I'm the editor of the Coleman Report. Welcome to Coleman Certified SBA 7A Loan Closer Training Meet and Greet with Lance Sexton, Coleman Faculty Instructor. Lance, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Glad to be here.
Where's Gracie? Is she there?
She's in deep sleep over in the chair. Hang on one second.
She's blending in. Welcome. The purpose of this is we wanted to get together, tell you what to expect with this course over the next 8 weeks, and what to expect. Well, first of all, if you want to ask any questions in this session, there's the chat box there. You can go ahead and click on the type your message there. You can send it to us, and we can answer that for you. By the way, I have a shout out to Kelly. Who's Kelly with? What bank is she with? She has already completed week 1, so congratulations, Kelly.
That's fantastic.
Finance Fund.
Finance Fund. Welcome. Congratulations, Kelly. Lance, tell us about this 8-week course. This is the second time we've done this course. We did it back in August. Our initial plan was simply to rerun the videos, but we decided to up the game a little bit. We have a little bit more production value. We flew you out to Hollywood this past week. Tell us what this course is about and what you expect it to accomplish.
Well, I think, Bob, the expectation is to provide our friends, the bankers, information about how to properly originate and close an SBA loan using the SOP 5010 as a guide, but touching base with all the critical elements, things like borrower eligibility, the various SBA loan forms and how to properly complete those, understanding very important things like documenting equity injection, understanding how to document use of proceeds, but just the primary objective is to give you the tools in your tool belt to be an effective SBA loan or closer. We want you to be able to originate and close your loans properly. So when you do a file review immediately after closing the loan, you'll find no exceptions. So we want to give you the tools to do it.
As we talked about in week 1, you are creating an asset for the bank and you're protecting that bank's asset. We want you to be able to close loans correctly, efficiently, expertly, confidently every time. That's the purpose of this course. How this works is each week, no later than Tuesday, we will release the videos. There will be approximately an hour's worth of content. The videos range from 8. I think we've had some go to 14 minutes in the past. And you can watch those at your leisure during the week. There's a little quiz at the end of each segment to simply reinforce the takeaways that Lance wants you to have. Every Friday, we have a similar type of meeting. We call it office hours. It's the live portion of the course. Lance and I will talk. Please give us your questions. That's a good time to raise them. And Lance will give a recap of the week. Now, even if you're on vacation or you didn't have a chance to do the videos, please feel free to log into office hours and you get a preview of what's happening from that standpoint. The feedback we've had in prior courses is that this is one of the more popular aspects of the training. Lance, let's talk about week 1. What's the takeaway that you want people to have?
Well, in the first week, we're going to, first of all, we're going to spend some time talking about what it means to be a prudent lender. I was deputy director at SBA's Little Rock Commercial Loan Servicing Center. Most of the people at headquarters I'm very familiar with. I went to the Federal Executive Institute, still talk to them, not on a daily basis.
Still talk to you?
Yes, they do. In fact, it's funny, they talk to me more now, Bob, because they want to know my perspective about SBA now that I'm no longer there. And I think they get a more honest recap. But I think the thing we do in the first week, we talk about the prudent lender, and we define the prudent lender. And John Miller, who runs the various centers at SBA from headquarters, and I had a conversation at the Mid-America Lenders Conference this year. And in my time at SBA, we even had similar conversations. SBA is going to push more and more Processing responsibilities, closing responsibilities, as all you guys can tell with the unilateral authority matrix, they're going to push more servicing responsibilities out to the participant lender. And
Absolutely.
Understanding what the concept of prudent lender means is critical to being proficient as an SBA lender. Because so many times in the SOP, Bob, you read something and it'll say, yeah, you can do this, but you've got to do what a prudent lender would do.
Right. What is
the other thing we're going to spend some time on is eligibility. We're going to talk about what types of businesses and borrowers are eligible and what types are not. Eligibility is a critically important area of SBA loan closing. You can, if you're submitting everything GP, you're going to basically get an eligibility scrub from SBA. But if you're doing express loans and you're doing PLP lending, you, the bank, are responsible to determine eligibility from the information collected. So it's very critically important, because the one thing I'll share with people, Bob, if there's an eligibility issue when you have a purchase package presented, it's not a repair, it's a denial. We're also going to provide some information and differentiate the underwriting process on loans under $350,000 versus loans over $350,000. And then we do jump into some structure, things like loan term and maturities, interest rates, guarantee fees, just some of the basic information about loan structure, and also talk about what SBA loans can be used for. I got a text message from a lender today, Bob, asking me if they could refinance a home equity line of credit on one of the obligor's personal residence. It has absolutely nothing to do with the business, and my answer was obviously no, you cannot do that, but we will talk about eligible and proper uses of proceeds and purposes for the SBA loan.
Right. Well, Lance, this is, I think, the third course you've done. For those new to this training, you will thoroughly enjoy Lance. I'm glad you gave a little plug of what he's done. He's an expert in this. He lives, breathes the SOPs. He's one of the few people who enjoys reading SOPs. So you're going to learn. You're definitely learning from the expert. Lance, we have a number of. The other thing we do is we issue a number of reading materials to help augment your knowledge on this. So we've put together a course that highlights or that focuses on the very critical, important things that you need to have, as well as give you a little background and context on why these things are important. As we've said before, when we start talking about documenting equity injection, week 4, the Inspector General of SBA assumes every transaction is fraudulent, and it is your job to prove a negative or disprove the negative. So we'll go from there. At the end of the course, it will be a final exam, open book. Take as many times as you want. We do ask for a 90% threshold to pass because we are simply reinforcing the important things. And at the end of the course, we will mail you the plaque. So from that standpoint. And with that, we believe in respecting your time. Do we have any questions, Joseph? There are no questions. If you have any questions this week, please send them to lance@colemanreport.com or myself. If you have a specific question that, a specific instance that goes to a specific loan, feel free to protect the guilty or the innocent by not having names, but you can give those specific case study questions to Lance, and he'd be more than happy.
I'd really like to encourage all of our participants. Probably one of the best features, I think, of the program are the Friday office hours. And I really want to encourage you, if you have questions about the content or if you have a specific SBA loan question, we'd love to address those. Get them to me early in the week because, or not, it doesn't have to be Monday, but at least give me a day in case I need to research.
Well, I disagree with that. We'd like to play Stump the Professor. Feel free to ask him during office hours as well. Sometimes it's fun to see Lance trip over his.
See me sweat a little bit.
But the other thing on these, I just lost my train of thought, although it was a good train of thought. Anyway, Go ahead, Lance.
Just make sure if you have questions or you have things about specific loans that you would like addressed, I'm more than happy to do that. And if you do stump me, I'll assure you that I will find the answer and I will email you the response as soon as humanly possible.
Well, we will let you rectify that error the following week.
Well, Bob knows that we did have a participant in the original closer series that stumped me, and I had a response back to him within an hour of the end of the office hour session. So if you do ask one I can't figure out, I will certainly research and provide the proper information.
I'll leave you with my final takeaway, and that is a lot of what you're doing is not black and white. There's gray. You are the final arbiter of what you're supposed to be doing. Lance clearly understands that, so he will be walking you through those gray areas and make you a professional certified loan closer. With that, we will talk to you all on Friday at 2 o'clock Eastern. Have a
great. See you on Friday.